because the simple formula that you're about to learn is going to allow you to dispute literally any negative item on your credit report. Access this sheet for free right on my Telegram channel. We're going to break down the Agero formula, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're looking for. We have the action. We're taking the action, which is something like update, correct, remove, and now we need to tell them what it is that we are requesting, right? This account, this inquiry, address, personal information, public record. Justifier is the word because you don't want to just tell them what you want. You need to tell them why. That is the entire premise behind factual based disputes. Okay. Now let's just right there, because I had a comment or 2 or 3 or 10 this week where it was like, hey, you're basically doing their job for them. That is the entire point of factual based disputes. We're not just reaching into a hat and pulling out some ambiguous thing that has nothing to do with anything, like using section 609. No, we're taking the evidence the same as a lawyer would use evidence in court to persuade the jury and the judge to go in their direction, regardless of whether it's the truth or not, right? That is what we're doing. Use the word because. Now we have to tell them the element, what it is that we're disputing. The date last active, the date last paid, notice of dispute, date last reported, balance, high balance, late payment history, past due, limit, first date of delinquency, open date, type, term, so on and so forth. Now we need to tell them that it's because it is inaccurate, it's wrong, it's missing, incorrect, incomplete. And then we have a filler, and reports as. That's very simply so that you can lead into your facts, right? So reasons, we're going to tell them in this example that I came up with that there are 3 different late payments on the bureaus, right? Experian shows 1/1/2021, Equifax shows 2/2/2021, and TransUnion shows 3/3/2021. Now, let's pause right there, because another comment this week was like, hey, the bureau don't care what the other bureau are reporting. And guess what, my friend? Yes, you are totally and absolutely correct, but here is the deal. This means either A, none of them correct, right? Not Equifax, not Experian, not TransUnion, or that one of them is correct and the other 2 are incorrect. Or we don't know, right? But what they do care about is that, and what they should care about, because you can sue otherwise if they don't correct it and whatnot, is that they are reporting accurate information. And here's another thing that you should consider. Metro 2, right? Metro 2 says delete it or correct it if it's inaccurate. It doesn't say unverified. It doesn't say incomplete. It doesn't say missing. It doesn't say any of that stuff. It's accurate, inaccurate, inaccurate, inaccurate. So with factual based disputes and with the Agero formula, we are specifically explaining why an account is inaccurate, and we are requesting deletion of this inaccurate and negative information. Okay, so this is why it works, because we're not coming up with stuff. It's coming directly from the credit report, and this information that's on the credit report is being reported by the bureaus, and the bureaus are reporting it because they're paid to, and they are paid to by the creditors and the collectors. Okay, so this is where this information is coming from, and that is why they care, and that is why it matters. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to plug it all together, and we're going to come up with our full dispute reason. Our full dispute reason in this example is update this account because the late payment history is inaccurate and reports as Experian date, Equifax date, TransUnion date. So what I want for you to do is plug this information with yours. All right, so let's scroll down so we can see this entire list, and we're first going to say one of these. So choose either delete, correct, update, or remove. Let's go with correct. So we're going to say correct. Okay. Now you have to tell them what you're correcting. Account, inquiry, address, personal information, public record, so on and so forth. I'm going to say the account. Okay. Now we need to tell them what is it that they need to correct. Date last active, date last paid, notice of dispute, date last reported, the balance, high balance, whatever it is. This is only a small part of the options that you have available to you, and they are more or less listed in the hierarchy of biggest impact down to least impactful, such as open date or status. But let's say that we want to choose, I don't know, let's go date last reported, because that goes with my last video. All right, so we're going to use the date last reported. That's right there. And we're going to say that it is wrong, and we're going to give our reason. So our reason for the date last reported being wrong is very simply that I disputed and they verified it as accurate. And by law, they are required to update the date to when they verified the account. However, if they're telling me they verified it, but they didn't change the date last reported or the status update date, it obviously means they didn't investigate the account and they just told me that it was accurate and certified as accurate by the creditor or whatever term they want to use. And obviously, this is wrong, okay? So now I'm going to say delete this account because the date last reported is wrong and reports as whatever the most recent date was. And it should be the date that you verified the account, which is X. And because it is not X, it means you didn't investigate the account. Now, we can also say delete this account, delete this inquiry, delete this personal information, delete this public record because the date or the balance or whatever is either inaccurate or whatnot. And again, all you're going to do is stitch it together, okay? So again, we're using the Agero formula, the action, type, justifier, element, reason, a filler, and reports as, the facts, and then we're going to stick it all together, okay? So if this doesn't make sense, please tell me in the comments and I will clarify.